Grizzlies have won 8 straight, tied for the longest winning streak in team history. Lakers have won a season-high 4 straight. Sunday Whites in L.A. Midway through the fourth, you've probably seen this, but you'll see it again. That's Ja Morant, and he looks photoshopped. What? He's jumping off. Trampoline. Ja Morant, superstar. Go do it again. I swear he's not like a normal human being. He's some kind of space alien. That's from Desmond Bain. Morant, elbows at the rim. Lakers, when you have to move your face away from the rim from avoid knocking your teeth out, that's silly. Speaking of which, LeBron, he gets the poster. He finished with 35, 9, and 7, but that's as good as it got for the home team. This night is about Ja. Floater, bucket good. 9.
How much Oscar Robertson you got to watch over the years? I assume a decent amount, but just wondered that name, what he meant to you, kind of the style of play that that he brought into the NBA, and now you, as he's the latest that you passed on the assist list. Sorry? Just Oscar Robertson. Yeah, just what if you didn't know, you passed him on the all-time assist list tonight.
Oh.
So yeah. Sorry, that would have been random.
No,
I should have
not
led
been
with
on
that.
social media yet.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I mean, I am a historian of the game, and I know quite a bit about the Big O. From his times from high school to the University of Cincinnati, to actually playing for Cincinnati Royals, all the way to Milwaukee, and so on and so on. What he meant to the game, what he still means to the game, is something that's just unparalleled. And obviously, he will always have a connection with Russ. What they was able to do for multiple seasons. But he was one of the first really premier big guards that could do pretty much everything on the floor. But his ability to get teammates involved, his ability to find his teammates, his ability to provide that sense of joy on the floor because of the past is something that I've always respected and gravitated towards guys like himself and J. Kidd and Magic. It's anytime I'm I know I sound like a broken record, but it's the honest to God truth. Anytime I'm connected or anything with the greats, it's a true honor.
They have rumored to be adding Rajon Rondo, and of course they have that veteran future Hall of Famer Carmelo Anthony, Jalen Rose. Do these roster additions, does their offseason make them the best team in the NBA right now?
All I know is this. My former teammate Rob Pelinka running laps around the rest of the league as it relates to putting this roster together.
Really?
Absolutely. I remember coming on this program for days and days and weeks when people were trying to assassinate his character when he got the job. Now all I see is the best team in basketball. You see that? That's the best team in basketball, ladies and gentlemen. They still have LeBron James. They still have Anthony Davis, who will be the difference maker against the Nets or against other teams that like to play small ball. And they added all of those guys. Okay, Malik Monk, 40% three-point shooter. Kendrick Nunn, 40% three-point shooter. Both of those guys are amazing heat check players, okay? That's going to give them their youth. Russell Westbrook averaged
Triple-double.
a triple-double last year, right? Like a triple-double with the Wizards last year. The Lakers, in my opinion, are the clear-cut best team in basketball. If they stay healthy, LeBron James getting another ring this year.
Ooh, I want to see Nets-Lakers finals. I'm done. I need it. I need it. I need it more than anything else in life. I need Nets-Lakers finals so bad. I need it. I need it. I need it.
It's going to take a minute for us to become the team that we know we're capable of being. It's all about just working the process, being patient with the process, understanding that we're going to have frustrating moments. We're going to have moments where we're quite right there. We may take a step backwards, but that's all part of. I think that nothing is worth having if it's not worth working for.
Jalen, you and I both have high expectations for this Lakers team. Should we temper some of those expectations because it's going to take a minute for them to get together?
Not at all. And like I've told you the last couple of years, while there have been some really good general managers across the NBA that have made incremental progress with rosters, Sean Marks adding a big three, and what Rob Pelinka has done with this Laker roster has basically ran laps around the rest of the NBA. And so whenever you get confused thinking about the Lakers' weaknesses, like, yes, they're going to have spacing issues sometimes with LeBron and Rondo and Westbrook. I get that. Yeah, AD is now going to have to play more minutes at 5. I know that's not something he really wants to do. But overall, when you get confused, just say, who's going to beat them 4 out of 7? LeBron James rebounding from losing in the first round last year. Anthony Davis, who wasn't able to perform in the playoffs last year. Carmelo Anthony is also on this team looking to get his first championship. So this Lakers team is stacked. And for me, like I said to you, they are the clear-cut favorites for me to win it this year.
See, I feel differently about the Western Conference this year than I did last year. For me, it is the Lakers, and there's a huge gap. You're trying to tell me Phoenix, Denver, Utah, Mavericks, Golden State, none of those teams can compete with this roster if they are healthy. I feel like this year it is the Lakers, huge gap, and then everybody else. Try to convince me otherwise, Mr. Rose.
I totally agree, but let me tell you also what has to happen. We need all NBA AD the entire season. Like, he's going to still need to give them around 70 games in the regular season, Jacoby, and then be healthy throughout the playoffs. Of course, LeBron James, the future Hall of Famer, is going to be in the GOAT conversation, but they still need Anthony Davis to be a dominant, game-changing difference maker, a la Giannis, the way he played with the Bucks in their quest to win the championship.
See, for me, I don't care about the 70 games. You can play 50 games in the regular season. It's the second part that you said, be healthy for the playoffs. That should be the only focus for this team with Anthony Davis's minutes. One of the reasons you get Westbrook is Westbrook can carry you through the regular season. They don't need to be the 1 seed. They don't need to be the 2 seed. They can be the 4 seed. If Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Russell Westbrook are healthy throughout the playoffs, they run through the Western Conference. Absolutely do.
There's a reason why AD needs to play center. And I know Dwight Howard is going to give you rim runs and fouls and physical presence. And the same thing for DeAndre Jordan. I understand what they bring you. But when you talk about the Lakers and the rest of the Western Conference and it being a drop-off, that's what happens to the Lakers up front when you take Anthony Davis out of the game, sir. They're going to need him for more than like 50 games when they're going against stout competition in the Western Conference, where Rudy Gobert come to town, when the Joker comes to town. They're going to need him out there to ball to protect seeding. Remember, they fell to the 8th spot last year. That gives you no room for error. This team, I believe, is going to offend. Hopefully, they have a top 3 record. That's what you hope this squad has. Once you start falling into the 4-5 game, that's where it starts to get a little tricky.
Well, I can't imagine this Lakers team, if healthy, falls to a 4-5 situation. I have very high expectations for them. I don't care what LeBron James says after the game. I don't care how long it's going to take them to gel. This team is the best team in the Western Conference, and I believe will prove it if they manage to stay healthy. And I love the addition of Russell.
They have to make some moves, though, because the West is so much better now. We're seeing it already with Phoenix and the Clippers, and we haven't even talked about Utah and Denver when Jamal Murray gets back. And so, and then the big 3 out here back east. And so we have to get better, and they got to get some shooters to surround AD and LeBron with, because Danny Green, that move hurt us. Rondo, that move hurt us, because those guys brought something that we don't have anymore, right? Danny Green could shoot from the 3-point line. Rondo with his basketball IQ and also be able to create shots for his teammates. Dwight Howard closing down the middle. So we miss those guys. So Rob Pelinka just got to bring some shooters, help AD, help LeBron, space the court, and I think the Lakers will be fine.
One of the big question marks about Anthony Davis, or about the Lakers in general, is Anthony Davis and his inability to stay healthy. No one questions his brilliance as a player. When healthy, he's an MVP caliber player. But how do you handle him during a season in which, I mean, we hate the words load management on this show, and everyone hates them, but the reality is you need him to be healthy at the end of the year, and it doesn't always happen. How do you handle it?
Well, Greeny, you're right. First, he got to change what he's been doing over the summer. And I think he's got to get somebody to stretch him. He also probably got to work with a physical therapist to make sure all the injuries that he had this past season, he's over those injuries, and it can help him during the season next season, right? And then for the Lakers, I would say yes, not load management as much, but make sure you watch how many minutes you're playing, watch back-to-back games, because he is injury prone. Before he got to the Lakers, he used to get injuries with the Pelicans, so we know that. The main thing for the Lakers is we just can't depend on those two guys anymore. We need a third scorer. We need somebody who can get us 15 to 18 points every single game. And that's where Rob Pelinka's got to make a deal, or he's got to draft somebody who can do that.
So who is that? What is that move? If you're making that move, what is the one move that could put LeBron back over the top?
Well, what I'm understanding right now, because I haven't talked to Rob or Jeannie about this, I know Kyle Kuzma, who played great before those guys got there, he needs to be a second scorer on a team, right? And I think he can actually do that.
Can I just interject? Someone has just entered the room. This is about to be fascinating. The great Stephen A. Smith has just made his way.
Look at him strolling, too.
Stephen A. is here. He doesn't have a microphone on, I'm being told. But you know what? With Steve, you can hear him anyway. So it does.
I lean on magic. I lean on
That's
magic.
right, that's right.
I lean on magic.
So I told him, you said the Lakers championship window is closed. He doesn't believe it.
Well, listen, it's very rare that I disagree. Here we go. Thank you so much. It's very rare that I disagree because, after all, this is magic that we're talking about. I mean, it's presently constructed. This team, their championship window, they did something Magic and the Lakers never did. They won the championship. They were feeling themselves. They were walking around as champions. I'm not talking about LeBron because we know he takes care of himself physically. But there's a lot of dudes out there that didn't commit themselves to defending the crown they had earned. And as a result, you got all of these teams on the come up. They are what they are. As presently constructed, their window is closed. Now, if they go out and get somebody like Dame Dollar or Damian Lillard or something, that would be different.
Is that on the list of options?
I don't think so. Yeah. It'd be nice, but I don't know if they could do it.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I think it's tough to pull off that trade because you need assets to do that. I think there's players out there that can help the Lakers. Rob's just got to find out who that guy is. But Laker fans, we gave them a pass, right? We said, hey, they won the championship last year. We gave them a pass this season. But after that, no passes. They got to come.